For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 33. Today we're talking about the one question I get more than anything else. It doesn't matter where I'm speaking, where I'm traveling, online or offline. I always get the same question, like Tom, what's the next level? Like, what does that look like? Or people will say to me, and you've certainly said this before, I want to go to the next level. The challenge is I think a lot of people have completely plateaued in their business, and most people haven't taken the time to dissect what are the real levels of performance in a real estate practice. So my coaches council, big shout out to our council and all of our coaches, got together and synthesized what we believe are the 8 levels of performance, the 8 different levels where you can take your business quantifiably from here to here, from no leads, no budget, no clue, no income, you know what I'm talking about, some brand new people in the space, to an exit strategy, a succession plan where you leave the business. Now the question is, do you want to go to the next level? Do you know where you are today? Let's take a look at the 8 levels of performance so you can make some good decisions. And then I've got some recommendations around how do you get to the next level for you. So here we go. The 8 levels of performance, I think we should start with number 1. And I know you want to go right to number 8. So don't look at number 8. Come on, don't look at number 8. No, I'm playing. Number 1. When you get into any business, you've got no budget, you've got no leads, you've got no clue potentially. And what we know today with 87% failure rate in our industry every 5 years, that the vast majority of the people in our space never move beyond the first level. They come in, they sell a house, maybe they sell their own house because it was the only one they could do, and then they're gone. And they never figured out, number 2, that if I want to have a sustainable business, a growing, thriving business that can dominate in any industry, and domination is different, domination could be 10 deals a year or it could be 10 deals a week. Only you determine what that is for you. We know we've got to then diversify our lead generation and we've got to develop a plan. Longtime client, longtime friend, Jack Patone, great Keller Williams agent in Brentwood, said once to my entire team, I remember getting into the real estate business and sitting in a room with all these different agents. And 3-4 years later, I'm making $500,000 a year, and most of those agents are gone. And he said, most of them were smarter than me. Most of them had more contacts than me because I actually moved from Chicago to LA. They had more opportunity than I did, but the game changer, the degree of separation, the reason why I made it beyond like my energy and my charisma, big shout out to Jack. He said, because a lot of those people had energy and charisma. He said the difference is I had a plan. I had a plan to go out and find the market, to go out and find the opportunities. I had a plan, a schedule, a way I was running my business where everybody else was just shotgun. You know what I'm talking about? Chicken with a head cut off, management style, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down. He said, we all go through this. The difference is I have a plan. So number 2, the second level of performance is you diversify your lead generation. You realize there's a place online and offline, working your database and other opportunities to grow and expand your business. Just like if you sat down with a financial planner and they said, hey, I want to take all of your life savings and put it into one stock, you would look at that financial planner and think this person's insane. No, the only way you have safety and security is you diversify your portfolio just like you diversify your lead generation. Same thing. Then once you've done this, you go to number 3. And then it's really about the game of consistency and conversion. See, everybody knows if you're consistent at anything, it's the compound effect, right? If I do the thing, I have the power. If I do the thing, I have the power. But if I do it and then don't, do it and then I don't, you know the kind of results that are produced. So consistency, this is the place where most people get plateaued. They write their plan, they diversify their lead generation, but they're in a constant state of starting, stopping. And what they never get is momentum. Do you know what I'm talking about? Consistency creates momentum, and that's where you get sustainable growth, big year-over-year results, and that's what we want. Then, of course, we all know the real game is conversion, and we clump those two together Because the moment you begin to become consistent with your marketing and your lead generation, calling your database, working expireds, you know me, I'm the no wrong way to do it guy, right? You know what's right for your market, and you diversify at least to the 4 core lead generation systems, and then you begin to realize it doesn't matter how many leads I get, it only matters what percentage I convert, right? What percentage are you converting? So conversion becomes the game, and that's what allows you to take your business to the next level. Now, once all this is going, you see number 4. This is the no-brainer. Every agent that hires an assistant ends up adding 30, 40, 50, 100% growth. They double their business. Why? Because for the first time, you've moved yourself into the position of being a great artist, and you allowed someone else to be the operator. Someone else that's great at transaction management, who loves the details, who maybe is not as good as you are with the customers, with the people, with the negotiation, with the social side of the business, but put them behind a computer, give them a checklist, and watch out. And when you get that person in place, all the rest of these things become to happen more naturally, more automatically. You hire that first assistant and everything begins to speed up. So now stop. Think about it. So far, I would ask you, where are you? Are you in any one of those, do you need to hire that first assistant? Are you already selling 16, 18, 20 homes a year and you're trying to do it on your own, which means you're doing searches at midnight? There's so many better things to be doing in bed at midnight. You shouldn't be doing searches for customers. You shouldn't be having to wake up in the morning, first thing in the morning, oh my God, right into your emails. If you're doing that stuff, you are in desperate need of an assistant or maybe a phone shrink. I don't know. Number 5, this is where it gets interesting. And now, again, you start to look at the masses in the real estate industry and you see it's pretty obvious why we've got 87% turnover every 5 years. When you start talking about Club 13, they've got this one going, they've hired this person, but then a lot of them begin to realize it's about growing a team. And you've seen me reference the babushka doll, many times before. The moment you say, I've got enough opportunity, I've got a way of doing business, I need more talent to be able to leverage myself and hire more people and bring in these people that can help me grow the business so everybody wins. Now you've got a business. For the first time, you really have a business, which means you can go on vacation, and when you do, listings and sales continue to happen. And that's exciting. But there's another level, right? I know a lot of people that got stuck here. And the next level is your team begins to outproduce you. I was on the phone a couple days ago with my client, Tim Smith. Big shout out to Tim. Phenomenal run over the last 8 years. He went through every one of these. And today, the team that he has assembled, these wonderful men and women that are all following the Smith Group way of doing things, they've operationalized the business. They've institutionalized, if you will, the Tim Smith methodologies in their business. Now the team is so far outproducing him, it's scary. Big shout out to everybody on the Smith Group. Here's the point though. He's now built a machine, a listing and sales machine. And for many people, that's the next level. Then you look at number 7. We call it extending the cash cow phase. Now, if you've ever seen my arts that we talk about, startup, growth, cash cow, fading winner, and then the last one is, and I'm now going brain dead on it because it's one we don't want to talk about, it's the restructure, excuse me. When you look at that, the sort of bell curve of how most businesses operate, or the life cycle, if you will, that cash cow phase, that's when you're the Apple computer. You with me? You've got more money than you know what to do with. Well, what we're seeing is a lot of people in the real estate business, agents have figured out that they can keep their expenses right, that they can build their team that outproduces them, and all of a sudden, they're making more money than they know what to do with, which is a really exciting position to be in. And the game is to obviously extend the cash cow for as long as you can. And how do you do that? You keep planning, you keep working on your diversification, you keep consistency and conversion always at the forefront of your mind, serving your customers. That's where you win. You keep hiring great people to grow the business. You continually operationalize, turn everything into a system. And now you're extending the cash cow phase. And the last one, number 8, is you got an exit. You've got a succession plan. You actually sell your business, or you turn it over to your loved ones, or you turn it over to your team. You can love them too. And now the business has a life of its own, and you get to pull back, and maybe you're working 1 day a week, maybe you're not working at all. I've got a lot of friends that have sold their real estate agent practice, and it's an exciting position to be in. All these things had to happen. They had to go through all these levels to get there. So my question for you is, What level of performance are you at today? And if you and I were sitting down one-on-one, having a tea or a glass of wine, I'd say to you, here's the actions you got to take, no matter where you are. Number one is get honest. Until you can look in the mirror and say, hello, my name is Tom, and I'm consistently at the second level of performance, and I'm always upset with my business. I don't like it all that much. It's always kind of crazy and driving me nuts. Until you can get honest about that, you can't move forward. Once you say, hello, my name is, and I'm at level 3, and it's time for me to hire my first assistant, because that's the game changer for me. The second thing is you write out a plan and you put a deadline behind it. So you say, let's say you're at 3 and you want to get to number 4. You want to buy some freedom, get some time back, or maybe drive your income up through the use of hiring an assistant. You're going to write a plan. In the next 60 days, I want to interview 10 people. I'm not going to build out all my systems because that's not my thing. I'm an artist, right? I'm going to hire the right person and let them build the systems. So I'm going to do that all in the next 60 days. And then what do? You create accountability. Now remember this from a few weeks ago. There's your commitment and then your behaviors. If your commitments, right, are here and your behaviors are here and they're not aligned with your commitment, nothing happens, right? What you get is just a lot of frustration. So you're going to make this new commitment. You're going to align your behaviors with some accountability to follow through and achieve the goal, achieve the plan in the deadline. And then the last one is you got to track and measure your progress. You have to know, am I doing what I'm supposed to do to get to the next level? And you'll know it. Now, there's a wonderful little quote from my buddy Sharon who said to me once, if you want it to count, then you got to count it. If you want it to count, then you got to count it. So you want to track and measure and know that you're making the progress and getting where you want to go. So that's the 8 levels of performance. Big shout out and thank you to my extraordinary Coaches Council and all of our great coaches for synthesizing this information and putting it into a format where now you can take it and say, hey, I know where I'm at. Like this would be hanging in my office as a reminder. I know where I'm at and I know where I'm going, and I'm going to create something special. Thanks so much for watching. Remember always, your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your passion rules. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.